Today on Dr. Jill, Team Helping Hands discusses the trials and tribulations of being a Business 205 student in Professor Bierman's class.
Good afternoon and welcome to Dr. Jill. Today on the show we have some Mays Business School students from a 205 class here with us. They're called Team Helping Hands and this is one of their group members, Elizabeth Mitz. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Dr. Jill.
Hi. Okay, so how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to hear about what you have to say. So how did you guys come up with your team name?
We actually decided that because we were going to be working with a non-for-profit organization and we were going to be helping them with their day-to-day tasks, that Team Helping Hands seemed like a right choice for us. So
It's appropriate, yeah. What organization did you work with?
we actually ended up working with Habitat for Humanity, and we worked in the Restore, so that was fun.
Great. I think a lot of the audience knows about Habitat for Humanity, but could you tell them a little bit about what the Restore actually is?
Yeah, sure. The Restore is a place where you can go to buy discounted things for your home, such as doors and windows, and then all sorts of other neat little knickknacks. So.
Oh, that's great. I'm guessing they use that money to pay for the projects they do?
Yeah, that's correct. They do.
Perfect. Was it an easy decision to work with them?
Yeah, I was actually really surprised at how easy it was for all of us to decide to work with Habitat. It was something that we all had wanted to do in the past and just never had the time for. So we thought we might as well take this opportunity to work with somebody that we all had wanted to work with.
Was it a big, was your group big, so it was difficult to decide on things, or was it a small group?
There were 6 of us, and we all had pretty different personalities, but that made it pretty entertaining. So.
Alright, well let's bring in some of these other members. We have Jason and Havana here from Team Helping Hands as well. So why don't we welcome them? Why don't you guys tell me a little bit about how you actually got to work as a team, like how you built the team spirit?
Well, it started out with the first team social that we had at Tessa's house, and that first social was pretty awkward. We weren't very comfortable with each other, so we just kind of talked about different class things, and but eventually over time we worked a lot on different assignments, and we became very close. So by the time we had our second social, we went bowling, and we realized that we were really more friends and that we trusted each other and not so much just classmates.
Well, that's great. So the project actually helped you guys become friends.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
And you thought that this trust was a really important part of that, I'm assuming.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Team Helping Hands is going to talk to us a little bit about the importance of establishing urgency and direction in a project.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
Wonderful. Okay, welcome back to Dr. Jill. We're still here with Team Helping Hands. So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about how you established a sense of urgency in your project?
Well, at first, because we weren't really that comfortable with each other, it made it really hard to decide who was going to do what, because everybody was still kind of reserved and shy, and it was hard for people to speak up. But after having some of our team socials and getting to know each other a little better, we were able to establish trust, which helped us to be able to talk about what our strengths and weaknesses were. And after we were able to do that, it helped us to delegate what tasks we were going to do. And so we gave each member of our team a certain role.
Well, that's good, because otherwise it can get a little bit clustered. Like you said, you have 6 people.
Right.
It's hard to keep track of who does what. So why was this really important to your team, though?
I feel like each of us having certain roles really established a sense of direction and helped us to get all of our tasks completed and in a timely manner, which is really important. So.
I know when we were talking before the show, you were stressing urgency. Who in the group was kind of in charge of creating that?
Well, definitely there were 2 of us that are a little bossy, myself included in that, and I think everybody kind of just knew that there were certain people that would delegate tasks, and then everybody was really hardworking, so it made it easy once the tasks were delegated for everything to get done.
So you
Well, at the start of the semester, we were asked to create a point system, which gave, I guess, the system of accountability before we really even knew each other and were able to trust each other and everything.
Would you say, looking back, this is a fair system?
Yeah, definitely. I think we established a good way to be accountable.
So is that the only thing that you did, or did you have other?
Well, when we were working at the Restore, we had delegated times to do that. But in order to make sure that we were all responsible for our hours and like we didn't come up with
Make things up.
yeah,
basically,
make things up. There was a sign-in sheet every time we went into the Restore, and it kept track of our hours for that
So
day.
did they keep track of the hours for you, or did you do that yourselves?
I actually did that. I
Oh,
had a
so you were
spreadsheet,
the
yeah. So
Little
I kept track
scorekeeper.
of that for everybody.
Okay, well that's great. We're gonna take another short break, but when we get back, we'll hear a little bit more from Team Helping Hands.
So take me with you when you go. I don't want to stay here alone. Remember when we were golden? Yeah, that was a long time ago. You told me that you felt foolish. You stayed where you didn't belong.
Ready? You have to change it too.
You need a little powder on your face. I'm just kidding. Makeup.
Alright, so welcome back. Team Helping Hands, could you tell me a little bit about how you balance the stresses of your personal lives while still staying committed to your group and to your project?
Well, I think that brings up the paradigm of individual versus community. And each member of our team has very different social lives, and we have different schoolwork that we have to take care of, and we're involved in different organizations. So we had to learn to make our team a priority, and in order to do that, at the beginning of the year, we heard that as long as we take care of our team, we'll get an A. So with that information, we became committed to our team, and we began to sacrifice some of our individual time just to benefit the group and Habitat Restore and the greater good.
So you were more focused on the project itself than the grade you were going to receive?
Yes, yes.
Well, that's
I
good.
would say
That
so.
sounds like a good way to handle things. Did any of these stresses create conflict in your team?
Yes, there were definitely some issues that provided some conflict within the team. Most of these included things like scheduling conflicts, or obviously when you have a group of 6 people, there's going to be different personalities, so you have to, decide which way you're going to handle certain situations with certain personalities. So there was some of that we had to handle.
What were some of these ways that you ended up handling the conflicts?
Most of them pretty much ended up working themselves out. When it comes to scheduling, we were able to always make time for our team, which was really good. And also we delegated somebody in our team as the conflict mediator. So anytime that we were maybe getting off task or weren't getting our work done efficiently, she was actually able to help mediate some of the conflict that would arise and help us to get back on track. So it definitely helps smooth things out.
It sounds like a really good idea to have someone there that's specifically in charge of that. We're almost out of time, but we had a couple of the audience members watching at home send in questions, and the one we decided to ask is, do you think that these skills that you learned will come in handy in the future?
I think they will. Well, they will be useful in the future. We learned a lot about just developing actual relationships with our teams rather than just working as a group and only knowing the person that you're working with on a surface level. And so I think that would really help in the future, like with business teams or whatever career that we may go into, to develop that sense of trust and know that the project's going to get done. So.
Well, that's great. It sounds like it was a very beneficial project